Hey guys, what is up? It is your friendly neighborhood who's here, back again, breaking Pyromaniac. Let's go. This is fucking sweet. Finally got Pyromaniac starting item. Let me minimize OBS so my frame rate doesn't suffer randomly. And here we go. It'll probably still suffer because I'm on a potato, but that's okay. Let's do this shit. I'm ready for Isaac. I did a lot of leveling in WoW today, mostly on my monk, who's now in Outland, and just hit 59, which is cool. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love just leveling in general in WoW. It's so fucking fun to me. So, I mean, I find it pretty comical. I've been resubbed to WoW for 3 days now? Yeah, 3 days. I used the free level 90 boost with Warlords of Draenor to start someone at 90, and they're currently at 98. And I just started Nagarand, and fucking, I'm super excited. It was like my favorite area in BC. And then I got a monk from 1 to 59, so, you know, I'm leveling pretty fast, I'd say. And that's enough with our WoW talk. That was our WoW minute. It's like, Witwix on Twitch. If you don't know who Witwix is, by the way, fucking, where are you? How do you not follow Witwix on Twitch? He's the greatest fucking dude in the speedrunning community. Like, actually, though, he's just such a down-to-earth, awesome dude. But anyway, Witwix on his stream does a anime minute every month, because, I don't know if he actually thinks anime is garbage, but, he likes to, you know, go along with that joke that anime is garbage. And he does allow people, in order to stop people from talking about anime in his chat, he makes it so you have an anime minute. So every month, he commits to 1 entire minute of talking about anime in his chat. So everybody who wants to talk about anime gets to talk about anime. And because it's only a minute, he's pretty happy about it. He doesn't have to deal with anime. It's pretty good. It's genius, in fact. Ooh, please be good. That is good. Please be awesome. Awesome. Ooh, those are pretty good. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Is we'll do WoW minute. Easy peasy. I might do more. I might do WoW videos. So one of the more popular videos on my channel. I mean, the Dark Souls ones are the most popular currently, which makes sense because the Dark Souls fan base is fucking insane, like in a not great way. Jesus. So the Dark Souls videos are the most popular, and then next I think is probably I made a video, very brief video, with a really broken microphone, and it was so funny to me that it got like actually popular. It was a video about World of Warcraft and how to get transformation items, specifically the Savory Deviate Delight, which is one of the cooler transformation items in the game, as it transforms you into, I believe, a pirate or a skeleton. It has like a chance of transforming you into either one. I don't quite remember, it's been so long, but I was super into transformation items back when I played the most. And so I decided to, I was like, I'll make a video series about it. And then I made one, and then I stopped. So, you know, usual me. I'll make a video series about it. And I've tried it. Goodbye. It's over. God, man. I gotta learn how to commit to fucking video ideas that I personally don't think were very good. Not in like a successful in like a numbers sense, like views wise. I generally discontinue series because I didn't like the way it turned out. Honestly, I like to think I'm not a perfectionist, but I am. I'm like one of the worst perfectionists that I know. The worst being my brother, because he's an artist, and whew, dog, it's just not, it's not good. Yes, I will take a brimstone. Thank you very much. But he's like, he shows me like an art piece, right? And he's like, what do you think? And I'm like, dude, this is fucking incredible. It's actually like the greatest thing I've ever seen. And then he's like, yeah, well, I think it could probably use some work. And then he fucking tears it up. And I'm like, ah! What are you doing? No, what? He's like, yeah, no, I could have like changed the eyes a bit. And I'm like, what are you doing? No, it was like actually ridiculous. Yeah, I just didn't think it was good. No, but it was. It was incredible. It was better than the Mona Lisa. Nah, it really, I wasn't feeling it. Nah, seriously, he's like, I'm not even exaggerating. That's not even me being hyperbolic about his criticisms of his own art. That's literally what it is. Like, he has like just a hair out of place on the piece, and he just like scraps it. If it's done on paper, that is. If it's not done on paper, like if it's done on computer, much better for him. He does a lot of his stuff digitally now, which is good for him because that means less complete scrapping of works. Apparently he does still scrap a lot though, and he does really like painting. So he does scrap a bunch, but it's not as bad as it used to be in when we were in high school. Oh god, when we were in high school, he just like every piece he ever did was just shit to him. It's a curse, man. It's the artistic ability curse. But I know a lot of people who are art focused, and I've never met one as critical of their own work as my brother. It's really ridiculous. And this shit's real good, by the way. I would highly recommend this. It turns out this was just a marketing ploy. No, but seriously, his stuff's really good. If you do want to check it out, I think he has a website, like Paddy Melt or something like that. P-A-D-D-Y Melt. Just like, I don't know, Google Paddy Melt art and you'll probably find it pretty easily. Can't imagine it being difficult to find. Oh, okay. How do I get the razor blade every fucking time? It's weird. Also, my brother does do commissions, so if you're looking for commissions, I would recommend him. Because his shit's real good. In fact, the channel art that I currently am using was actually done kind of by my brother. Well, it was pretty much by my brother. It was like when we were fucking, 12. It was... Okay, I've explained it before. I'll explain it again, though. Basically, the channel that we originally had was Goose, and if you want to check it out, it's still on YouTube. A lot of the videos are kind of fucked, though, by the copyright changes, because we did use a lot of music, which at the time was okay. It was perfectly within the copyright laws, or at least the copyright rules that YouTube had. But since the change, a lot of them have been muted. So, but I'm sure some of them still exist in their original form. But it's just Goose, just straight up. Basically, the YouTube name I have, which, as you'll note, is Gus, but it's Goose. You just can't do umlauts in YouTube names, and that was like our thing or whatever. But anyway, our channel was Goose. That's where the name comes from. We made a channel that was just like, us doing dumb videos inspired by Smosh because we were like in middle school or whatever. And I mean that's it. Like that's where it started. And the channel like icon art, profile art that I'm currently using on this channel is the original Goose icon, which if you'll note is a good... I just heard rumbling upstairs. There might be thunder above me. There's apparently a lightning storm going on, but I gotta record Isaac, so, if I die or something, it's fine, because I had to record. But it's like a silhouette of a goose standing in front of... Ooh, yes, please. Standing in front of, like a Superman symbol, basically, but instead of an S for Superman, it's a U for Goose. So that's cool. You probably couldn't tell, but that's what it is. And that was done by him in like middle school. And it wasn't a big deal. It was like mostly Photoshop. It wasn't any illustration really. The only real like illustration part was the U in the background, which he never liked. And I tend to, I don't know, I think it's fine. I think it's as kind of exaggerated as the S in the Superman crest. But he doesn't like it because he says it looks more like an O. But if you look at the Superman S, it also doesn't really look like an S. It kind of looks just kind of wonky and way curvier than an S would be. So, I don't know. I think it fits the bill. I think it works. Yeah, again, like highly recommend if you dig art, check him out. Like Patty Melt illustration or something. It used to be a Tumblr. Ooh. It used to be a Tumblr, and then it wasn't. So, I don't know. I remember it being a Tumblr. I'm actually gonna ignore that item room and save this for like a deal with the devil or something. But he used to have a Tumblr, and I remembered the link, and then I like went to it one day, and it was just gone. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I have a new website." I'm like, "Okay, sure." I think he made it a Tumblr for it because his like class that was about, because he went to an art school, and he had a class about basically the non-artistic side of being in art, right? So like the website, you know, learning about like how you should run commissions and stuff like that, just kind of like the business side, I guess, of art. And so they were like, everybody's gonna have a website, make a Tumblr, because it's the easiest. So he did. And then when he learned more about making a website, he basically kind of made his own. Oh, that's sad. I'm gonna take it anyway, because it does increase the rate that my beam charges, but it's not a sweet like star of brimstone at the wall that it hits, which would be way broken, but so fucking cool. I just realized I spent like this entire video so far just talking about my brother's art. It's kind of weird. Yeah, whatever. I love him because he's my brother. Also, I kind of love him because I kind of feel sorry for him because of what I've done to him. I've ruined his life by ruining his tooth or something. Something like that. Yeah, sure. We always like to, I don't know, exaggerate how impactful it was. Like he says it was like bad for him, like bad for his mentality as a kid, that he had a broken tooth and it was like different or whatever. And I don't disagree with that. That probably is very true. But, you know, we always joke about how it like completely ruined his life. He could have been a doctor, stuff like that. As you'll tend to find, comedy is normally in the exaggerations of truth rather than the complete fabrication of a truth. Creating, you know, an imaginary event to be funny is much harder than just taking a real event that happened and exaggerating it. I almost got hit. So when you ever hear a comedian talking about something that, you know, happened to them recently, chances are it did. It definitely did happen. Not quite to the extent that they're saying, but it probably did. I can't imagine it didn't. Oh, so I brought up the idea on Friday that to my dad that we should do burgers some night on the weekend. And then last night they had friends over for dinner, so we didn't do burgers last night. And then today I was like, so we're doing burgers tonight? And he's like, oh, yeah, let's do burgers. And I'm like, oh, you forgot, okay. So then we went to the store, got some nice old beef patties, and made some burgers. Some of the biggest burgers that I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen a lot of burgers, I'll tell you. They were so huge. Like, I legitimately had to unlock my jaw in order to take a bite. It was some heavy stuff. Alright, we didn't get unlucky and get Mom before the other one. So, if you don't know how XL floors work, is that you can actually get the bosses separated. It's a very bizarre bug. Well, I don't know if it's a bug, but it's a very rare occurrence and it doesn't make sense. So I would call it a bug. Right, because it's XL, it's... God, I keep forgetting. I was like, we went to the item room. But basically what can happen is that the bosses can actually be separated and not back-to-back. This bug still hasn't been fixed. It's been around since the release of Rebirth. Ah, that seems sweet. It's been around since the release of Rebirth, and it still hasn't been fixed. And basically, it could cause it. So, like, let's look at the map. So let's say over on the far left here, I'll move my character, like right here, this next to this room that I'm like looking at, that I'm shooting my laser into, there could have been a boss room like to the left of it, and that could have been Mom. So if I went in there first, I would be stuck, right? I couldn't get out of the Mom fight, right? Because they'd be separated. Don't ask me why that's a thing. Don't ask me how it's a thing. I have no fucking idea, but it's a thing, and it sucks ass. Sweet. Sweet, we had plenty of time. Woo! 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 Well, I guess I'm taking Guppy's head. That kind of sucks. I wanted both, but I didn't have enough red hearts. Shit! Okay. No, wait. We're fine. I didn't mean to pop that, but I did. It's okay, though, because it gave me a battery, which is awesome. Oh, God, yes. And yes. And I'm just going to ignore the other thing and go. And then I'll have a reroll for this. I don't need it. I don't need it. We got PhD. We won. We're Guppy. We got PhD. Easy peasy. Yeah, we made some burgers, and I was tempted to take a picture and put it on Twitter, but then I was like, I gotta eat this thing. So I ate it, real fast, and immediately I could feel it working its way through my intestines. And that's not, like, it's a good visual, right? It's a good idea. It paints a picture very well. The whole, I could feel it moving through my intestines. Not a pretty situation, though. Opposite of that. Not very comfortable. Not necessarily uncomfortable, but definitely not comfortable. It's, yeah, I would not recommend eating a burger the size of your head, pretty much ever. I mean, it's delicious. It's really good. But, man, every time I eat a burger that size, I'm just like, ugh. Oh, God. And then I have, like, terrible nightmares. I have nightmares anyway, but that's beside the point. It's actually very bizarre how much food affects the content of your dreams. Oh, my God. In my experience, food, like, almost explicitly dictates my dreams, which is such a bizarre thing to think about. Like, if I have a gigantic meal, it's like a specific kind of feeling of nightmare, if that makes sense. I don't know. My dreams are very bizarre and complex and don't make any sense at all. Apparently most people's dreams are similar to that, but I don't know, man. When I hear people describing their dreams and it's like, last night I had a dream that I was flying on a whale, I'm like, well, that's nice. See, last night I had a dream where I started questioning my own existence, and when I woke up I had a certain feeling that I couldn't quite describe, and I couldn't remember where it came from. But it was mostly a sad feeling. And they're like, oh. Alright, well, I was on a whale. You know? Like, there's just this very clear disconnect between how other people describe their dreams versus the way I experience mine. I don't know. Sometimes I think too much. Which is like a self-completing cycle in and of itself, which is very interesting, but I don't know. It's just such a common occurrence for me to be upset that I'm thinking about things. It's funny, my uncle actually said, he told me basically a story about when he was a kid, he would you know, go to bed crying and being like, why can't I be stupid? I was like, that's a ridiculous thing to ask. What do you mean by that? And he's like, why can't I be just stupid and ignorant? Like, look at all these people living their wonderful lives, and then here I am staying awake at night thinking about how awful the world is. Because I'm not ignorant to it. You know, that sort of thing. And I'm like, you know what, I feel that. I sympathize with that greatly. That's how I feel sometimes. I've never cried myself to sleep because of it, but sometimes I do feel like, man, it must be nice to just be stupid. No care in the world? Whew. That'd be great. And then I realized that it's really cool being smart too. But at the same time, like, sometimes you just wish that you could not give a shit about anything. This got fucking deep, I'm sorry. But I definitely have reached the conclusion multiple times that I think too much. And maybe that's why I'm so good at not being bored. Because I always have something to think about. And I'm very stimulus addicted. Like, I can't really handle... Well, I can handle a lack of stimulus because I have such a backlog, right, in my brain, just waiting for me to think about any given moment. But any time that I have an opportunity to, for example, be on the internet and reading something about something, I'll do it. Yeah, that's what I do. And like that action is why I'm so good at completely brainless tasks, because I have stuff to think about while doing the brainless task that most people would be super bored and bash their head in at. And that's why my favorite job that I've ever had is the temp job at an insurance company that was going digital. And my job was more or less removing staples. For 10 hours a day. It was 10 hours a day, $10 an hour for like 2 weeks or something. It was a fucking great job. I loved it. I was so into it. And like it legitimately was my favorite job that I've ever had. I haven't had a lot, in fairness, but sure as hell beats anything fucking retail. I just don't like people. That's my main issue when it comes to jobs, specifically of the minimum wage variety or entry-level variety. Alright, Bob Sroddenhead, you gotta fuck off, bud. I don't like you. That's why I didn't take you on the last floor. But yeah, most entry-level jobs expect you to deal with people. Ugh. Oof. Ugh. Yuck. It's not that I just hate people. It's just that I don't want to deal with people. I don't know. I don't have a very good explanation for it. It's just, it generally revolves around the idea of interacting with people. But I love interacting with people. So I don't know what it is. I mean, it's anxiety. That's what it is, but I don't... Just give me a, you know... Everybody talks about how awful it would be to work, like, a fucking cube farm job, and I'm like, nah, that sounds great. Sounds like my dream job right there. But I haven't found one. An entry-level, like, cubicle job in this area. At least not yet. Man can dream. That may be sad, that my dream is to work in a fucking cubicle. Minimum wage 9 to 5. Sitting at a desk all day. That sounds great. Oh god, that sounds good. I don't know, the issue with jobs like that is that it's not normally like a... I mean, there are obviously entry-level jobs where you know, sit in a cube farm all day. Damn it. I could have had such cool tears. Like, they exist, but I don't know. Don't hear about it too often. Pheromones. Don't you dare. Motherfucking peeps! I actually, kind of going on the dream tangent. Last night, I had such a weird dream. I had a dream where basically it was, I was like back in high school or something. I don't quite understand, but the setting was my high school. And it's quite common for my dreams to have a setting that has been like a big part of my life, right? That doesn't necessarily make sense for me to be there. And like one of the first things that happens in my dreams in places like that is I question why I'm in that location, but then I just move along and don't question it, which is why I can't lucid dream, because my brain is super good at preventing me from doing it. Whatever. But like I was in my high school and I was like, that's weird, why am I here? And I was hanging out with like people that I'd call acquaintances in high school. They weren't really like my high school friends. I was just hanging out with them though. And I was like in a gym class, and then it ended, and I left, and then I went to the other corner of the building, because in high school I had I had like period 3 gym, period 4, French. No, it wasn't French. French was in the wing, but it was math. That's right. It was like way in the back. And they were complete opposite corners of the school, so I had to rush. And so I guess that's why the dream was like, all right, let's pick that spot. And then I got to the class and realized I forgot something. So then I went back to the gymnasium, and there was like conveniently a lost and found table on the gym floor, which made no sense. But I went to it, and I was like, there's the thing I need. And then I saw it, and it was a deck box for Magic the Gathering cards. And then one gym teacher came over who I vaguely could tell who it was. I had the idea of who it was, but now that I think about it, they weren't one of the gym teachers when I went to school there, so I have no clue why I thought I recognized them. But they were like, hey, what's that, nerd? And then he fucking took the deck box and threw it on the ground. And then I got super pissed and punched him in the face, and then I woke up with a headache. I don't know what happened. Like, those are my dreams frequently. And, like, not only did I have a headache, but I felt upset. Like, just visibly upset. Like, those are the kind of dreams I have. If any of you are, like, psychologists or something, and you can try and decipher what that was, I'd be down for it. But, like, I don't know. Those are frequent. That's the kind of thing that happens to me. No, like, wonderful riding a fucking whale, or just, I was falling from a plane. None of that shit. Like, very convoluted, that makes no sense, with, like, very specific details that had to do with my life in some fashion, I guess. And it always leaves me with, like, a headache or just a specific feeling, right, when I wake up. Whether it's, you know, sadness or upset or anger. Generally negative emotions. Never like I wake up with like oh, that was nice. Oh. That never happens. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please be sure to leave a like. It does help me out a great deal. I mean it. I really do. If you don't know how YouTube works, I'll briefly explain it to you. Videos show up in the related videos as well as on the front page, depending on how much interaction there is, which can mean likes, dislike, comments, favorites, shares, all that. Any interaction with the video is good and makes it show up higher up on those lists. So if you do like the video, or even dislike, or comment, or all of the above, or favorite, anything. If you do anything with the video, it helps the video get seen by more people through YouTube's own system. So it does help me out. I'm not just saying it to fucking pander for likes to stroke my e-penis or something. It legitimately does. So anyway, that's all for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one tomorrow.